Good morning everyone. Myself Indrani Mondal, Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department in Ideal Institute of Engineering. Today I will deliver a lecture on engine ignition system that is related to internal combustion engine and automobile engineering. These are the main contents: magnetic ignition system, comparison between battery ignition system and magneto ignition system, firing order, ignition advance and ignition advancing mechanisms. I will discuss one by one. First, I will discuss the basic principle of magneto ignition system, and this is the schematic diagram of magneto ignition system. The only difference between battery and magneto ignition system is that the battery is replaced by the rotating magneto. As the magneto rotates, the voltage and the current are generated in the primary and the circuit is completed passing the current through the contact breaking points and through the ground. As the current passes through the primary coil, through the contact breaker, the circuit is completed through ground. As the camshaft rotates, the cam 1 opens the contact breaker and interrupts the flow of current in the primary. This causes the decay in the magnetic field lines and cuts the lines of magnetic field in the secondary, and a high voltage is generated in the secondary. The process of generating the high voltage in the secondary is known as induction phenomena. The voltage generated in the secondary depends upon the ratio of number of turns in the secondary and primary. The purpose of condenser is to suck the current from the primary when the primary circuit is broken, which helps to decay the magnetic field rapidly and enhance the process of increasing the voltage in the secondary. The high voltage generated in the secondary is carried through the distributor to the point 1 to spark plug 1. The spark is generated due to high voltage across the spark plug gap. In the meantime, cam 1 goes out of action and contact points touch each other and completes the primary circuit. Again, the cam 2 breaks the contact points and the process described above is repeated, and the spark is carried to the distributor and then to the next spark plug. In this way, during one rotation of the camshaft, each spark plug in each cylinder ignites the mixer and power is generated. This is the basic principle of magneto ignition system. This is another schematic diagram of magneto ignition system. This is the basic principle of magneto ignition system I have told earlier. Let us discuss what are the main advantages of magneto ignition system. It is more reliable as compared to coil ignition system because there is no maintenance problem in magneto ignition system. As the speed increases, the voltage in the primary winding also increases rapidly, and intensity of spark is also higher and provides better combustion as compared to battery ignition system. Therefore, magneto ignition is very popularly system used in racing cars. It is used for medium to high speeds. Space required is less as compared to coil ignition system. By providing suitable shunts on magneto, the danger of burning of spark plug is minimized. Very light in weight and compact in size. Automatic time adjusting of ignition can be affected. These are the main advantages of magneto ignition system. Let us discuss the next slide that contains disadvantages of magneto ignition system. In case of magneto ignition system, the initial cost is very high as compared to battery ignition system. To start with, 75 rpm is necessary. The burning of the electrodes will result with powerful sparks at high engine speeds. These are the main disadvantages of magneto ignition system. Let us discuss what are the main differences between the battery ignition and magneto ignition system. There is always a problem of battery discharge in battery ignition system, but in case of magneto ignition system, there is no problem of battery discharge. The intensity of the spark in the case of battery ignition system remains constant irrespective of the speed of the engine, or reduces slightly as voltage drop is very less with respect to speed of the engine. The spark intensity is very poor at starting and during idling, as the primary and secondary voltage is dependent upon the speed of the engine. The low cost of coil system compared with magneto is the main reason for the adoption of coil ignition system on cars and light commercial vehicles. Using alico and co-metals, very light in weight and compact in size unit can be made. The space required is less compared to coil system as it is more compact. It is also very reliable, therefore it is used in racing cars, military vehicles and scooters and motorcycles where lightness, space and reliability are the main considerations irrespective of cost. The wiring involved in the coil system is more complicated than magneto-ignition and there is more likelihood of defects occurring in the system. The wiring in magneto system is highly simplified. Spark intensity in case of battery system remains unaffected by advance and retard position of the timing control mechanism, whereas the magneto is restricted in this respect and simplicity of the distributed drive is still another factor in favor of coil ignition. If the battery is discharged, it can be easily charged just by removing from the vehicles. Internal defects requires dismantling the armature, for example condenser failure. The timing available for building the primary current to maximum, which is the basic necessary for good spark, decreases with increasing speed with battery ignition as discussed earlier. This may cause the misfiring of the engine, but with magneto ignition system this does not happen and the reason for the same is explained earlier. It is the time required for the current to develop its maximum value in the primary and this time is allowed when the engine is running at higher speed. So these are the main differences between the battery magneto ignition system and magneto ignition system. Next, let us discuss about firing order of the engine cylinders. First of all, we have to know the basic definition of firing order. The sequence in which firing impulses occur in multi-cylinder spark ignition engine is called the firing order. The angle between the successive crank throws in multi-cylinder engine govern the order in which successive pistons arrive at top dead center. The firing order should be such that there must be always a proper balance and it does not cause vibrations. In 4-cylinder 4-stroke engine, the firing in all cylinders will over in 2 revolutions of the crankshaft. With crank throws at 180 degrees, the cylinders 1 and 4 will reach top dead center simultaneously. If the firing interval is made 180 degree, the firing in cylinder 1 cannot be followed by the cylinder 4. Similarly, the firing of the cylinder 2 cannot be followed by cylinder 3. Therefore, the possible firing order in 4-cylinder engine is 1 to 3, 4 to 2 or 1 to 2, 2 to 4 and 4 to 3. In case of inline 6-cylinders engine, the cranks are set at 120 degree and the cylinders 1, 6, 2, 5 and 3, 4 will be at top dead center simultaneously. Therefore, the firing order should be arranged to take place in front and rear halves of the engine cylinder. The possible sequence of 6-cylinder engine is 1 to 5 to 3 to 6 to 2 and to 4 or 1 to 4 to 2 to 6 to 3 and to 5. And for 8-cylinder engines, the firing orders are 1 to 6 to 2 to 5 to 8 to 3 to 7 and to 4 and 1 to 5 to 4 to 8 to 6 to 3 to 7 and to 2 and it may be 1 to 8, 8 to 4, 4 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 5, 7 to 2 and 1 to 8, 7 to 3, 3 to 6, 5 to 4 and 4 to 2. This is the basic concept of firing order of the ignition cylinders. Next, ignition advance. The angle of advance is the time in terms of crank angle provided to burn the mixer inside the cylinder before starting the expansion. This is the time required for the purpose of combustion, as combustion is not instant phenomena. The combustion is a process and the time taken for this process is independent of the speed of the engine. It is always desirable that the maximum pressure of the mixer should occur at top dead center after combustion for the maximum power developed by the engine. This is all about ignition advance. Next, what are the main advancing mechanisms? In practice, two advancing mechanisms are commonly used, known as centrifugal advance mechanisms and vacuum advance mechanisms. Let us discuss one by one. First, centrifugal advance mechanism. In this case, the centrifugal advance mechanism consists of spring-loaded weights mounted on a platform and connected to the contact breaker cam. The platform being rotated by a shaft driven from the engine crankshaft. When the engine speed increases, the platform rotates and causes the weight to move outward, which turns the cam and so alters the timing. This mechanism acts as a flexible coupling in the drive. A pair of rotating weights operated by centrifugal force against springs twist the cam in its direction of rotation relative to the drive shaft, so operating the points earlier at high speed. The point at which the rubbing block engages the cam has moved forward. Spark occurs earlier. Next, let us discuss about vacuum advance mechanism. At light loads, the advance required is more because the time lag is more, as the pressure at the end of compression is less. At heavy loads, the advance required is less, as the pressure at the end of the compression is higher. Vacuum advance mechanism consists of a spring-loaded diaphragm connected to a rotatable plate carrying the contact points as shown in this figure. The diaphragm is subjected to the depression in the induction manifold. It advances the ignition due to considerable depression in the manifold at light loads. With wide open throttle in heavy load condition, the depression is reduced and a return spring acting on the diaphragm retards the spark. The vacuum advance mechanism operates independent of the centrifugal advance mechanism. By the combination of centrifugal and vacuum mechanisms, the ignition time can be adjusted to both the load and the speed of the engine to give optimum performance of the engine. This is all about advancing mechanisms. Next, what is ignition timing? A spark has to occur at precisely the right moment in an engine cycle to ignite a pressurized mixture of air and fuel. This is known as ignition timing. So ignition timing changes with engine speed and load requirements. In theory, a spark should occur just after top dead center as a piston starts downward on its power stroke. In practice, the air and fuel mixture has to burn for a finite length of time. Therefore, a spark has to occur before a piston reaches top dead center. Ignition timing changes due to engine speed and due to engine load. First, discuss ignition timing change due to engine speed. Ignition timing has to advance because as an engine speeds up, the point at which combustion occurs comes around quicker. An ignition system must be able to advance and retard the spark with regard to engine speed. This figure illustrates the spark that occurs 18 degrees before top dead center, and this point contains 1200 rpm burn time lasts for 41 degrees of crankshaft travel. This figure illustrates spark occurs 40 degrees before top dead center. This point belongs to 3600 rpm burn time last for 63 degree of crankshaft travel. Electronic and distributor less ignition systems calculate spark advance from sensor information. Next, ignition timing change due to engine load. Engine load and the mix of air and fuel affect burn time. A long burn time is required when the mixture is lean and the engine load is light. This figure illustrates this point. A short burn time is required when the mixture is rich and the engine load is heavy. This figure illustrates this point. An ignition system must be able to advance and retard the spark with regard to engine load. Early DI systems use a vacuum advance mechanism. Electronic and distributorless ignition systems calculate spark advance from sensor information. This is all about ignition timing and how ignition timing change due to engine speed and due to engine load. This is all about ignition system related to internal combustion engines and automobile engineering. Thank you.